Tales from the Middle East. The Judgment of Karakoush from Egypt. The people have a proverb, like the judgment of Karakoush, which is heard whenever good laws are carried out in a silly or capricious way. It is told that a thief once broke into a house to steal. He had climbed the garden wall and came to a window to which he tried to pry open, but the window frame was weak and gave way suddenly, and the thief fell into the house and broke his leg. The next day, the thief, wobbling on a sound leg, appeared before Karakoush, the governor. Showing his broken leg, he said, "Your Excellency, I am a thief by profession. Yesterday I entered the house of a certain man, and I was prying the window open, it caved in, and I fell and broke my leg." Karakoush shouted to the court guards to bring the owner of the house before him. Presently the owner of the house, trembling with fear and agitation, not knowing the nature of the charge against him, was dragged before the governor. Karakoush repeated the accusation of the thief, and added, "Why did you make your window so loose that it caved in and caused the thief to break his leg?" What answer could the owner of the house make to such a charge? And since when had thieves the right of protection against honest people they tried to rob? But the man knew better than to argue with the Karakoush. He thought for a moment, then he said to the governor, "Your Excellency, it is no fault of mine that the window of my house wasn't constructed right. I swear that I paid the carpenter sufficiently to make me a window strong enough to prevent such an accident." "Bring the carpenter, then," Karakoush commanded in a thundering voice. And when the carpenter appeared, the governor spoke sternly to him. "This house owner asserts he paid you well to construct a strong window. Why then did you build a window so weak that this poor thief broke his leg when he tried to open it?" The carpenter's face turned pale at the sudden and unexpected accusation, but he knew how useless it was to argue with Karakoush, so after a little hesitation he said, "Your Excellency, it wasn't my fault that the window frame wasn't fastened properly. I was driving a nail when a certain beautiful lady with a red dress passed under the window. I was distracted by her beauty, and drove the nail in crooked." Karakoush demanded to know the name of the young lady, and instructed that she be brought before him at once. When she appeared, the governor repeated the charge of the carpenter, saying that if it hadn't been for her beauty and her red dress, the carpenter wouldn't have been distracted, the window would have been stronger, and the thief wouldn't have fallen and broken his leg. To this the young lady answered with a smile, "Oh, my beauty is from God, but my red dress is from the dyer. It was he who dyed it red and made me distract the carpenter." "Then bring the dyer here," Karakoush ordered. A few minutes later, the dyer, too, stood trembling before the governor. "Oh, unscrupulous dabbler in dyes!" Karakoush roared. "Why did you dye this lady's dress red so that she attracted the attention of the carpenter, so that he drove the nail crooked and caused a weakness in the window frame, so that this thief broke his leg when he tried to pry it open?" The poor dyer stood speechless and stunned with bewilderment. He stammered one excuse or another, but none appealed to the relentless governor, who finally shouted out, "Take this fellow and hang him at the door of the prison." Now the dyer happened to be an extraordinarily tall fellow. When the soldiers took him to hang him at the door of the prison, they found that the door was far too low, allowing no space for the rope. So they hurried back to the governor and told him that they couldn't hang the dyer because he was too tall for the prison door. But Karakoush, not to be daunted so easily, bellowed at the soldiers, "Go out and look for a short dyer and hang him in the place of this one." So the soldiers went out, as the governor had commanded, and found a short dyer. They didn't listen to his wild protests that he had done no wrong, but dragged him to the prison door and hanged him. Thus it is said when justice or reason gives way to silliness that hurts the innocent and leaves the guilty free, people say, "It is like the judgment of Karakoush."